Hi, welcome to Free Spirit, and welcome to another spirit message and tip. This has come up in the comments a lot, and I just thought I would share what I got this morning on the subject with you, because basically I've been asked this question a million times in the comments, and I've done various videos, but I wanted to sum it up all here in one: how to connect with spirit guides and loved ones passed on. So this was the spirit message tip. So this was a question that comes up a lot in the comments, and the answer I got, I wanted to share on the channel because I thought it was really beautiful. So immediately what I got was, you are in fact always connected. They are always there for you, even when you don't see it or feel it. So it's not about how to connect, but to know you are connected and to know when you are connecting. Okay, so it's not a question of how can I connect, how can I connect. They want to make it very clear, almost reassuring you, first of all, that you already are, more so than you even realize, and probably a lot of things that you just didn't even give them credit for. Okay, so that's number one. So they're saying it's more about to know already that you are connected, and to also know when you are connecting. So a lot of the times you don't even realize when you are connecting. So how can you increase feeling connected? So the number one thing I got was signs. We talk about that a lot. You know, you could also have a personal symbol. Say, for example, like mine is very much, if you can tell, butterflies and hearts. So you could have a personal symbol. You don't even have to announce it. They already know. Like if you have a certain symbol, and so you'll see they'll use it. It will show up to give you comfort, support in weird ways. Like all of a sudden you could be going through a rough time and a butterfly could show up, but in like an obscure way, you know, not even in a place where butterflies really are supposed to be. You could see an image of a butterfly. You can see, I'm just using that as an example, but there are any kind of signs, your personal symbols. There could also be signs where people talk about coins a lot. They talk about feathers. They talk about birds, butterflies, because they could fly to you. Anything that quote unquote speaks to you, anything that you take as a sign, don't discount it. Most of the time we discount what we're getting. You don't even have to feel that you can explain it to another person. You don't have to explain it to a family member, your best friend, husband, wife. It's just, don't you discount it. There are other signs, symbols, messages that can show up. For example, if it's loved ones passed on, you could see their name repeating. I have one where someone recently passed away in my life, and his name is repeating everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And I almost have to laugh. It's like they're just showing that they're around, you know? It could be something that you can't even quite define. It could just be your thing, or it could be something. Just don't discount things. You know, I've had people where they've passed and all of a sudden I find their office pen or something of theirs that has their name on it, like it's, or a picture, all of a sudden it's like you're coming across all these things. Even if in your head you get a memory, you get, you know, it can come in your dreams, you know, very often. Another thing, there are lots of synchronicities of events, songs, and people. When you have weird synchronicities, it almost feels like it's orchestrated by your spirit guides or loved ones passed on. There could be a bizarre sequence of events. I would even put in there near-death experiences if you've had your life miraculously, weirdly saved, that you just know that somebody was looking out for you. Songs, I've posted a gazillion messages about songs. Very often if you hear a song and the lyrics are resonating in a certain way, even if it's love songs, you know, I've said this a lot, like it's not just about this. The writer may have been talking about love between a man and a woman, or a man and man, woman, but what they're communicating is a divine love. So very often the love song is of a deeper, higher vibrational love, and they're showing their love for you, or support. Or if you ever realize you feel like you want to play a song over and over, they're delivering some kind of message to you, some kind of healing sometimes. If you ever have in the back of your mind a song playing through your head, definitely listen to the song. If you're not familiar with the song or can't quite hear the lyrics, I always say Google the lyrics. It's very often in the lyrics that there's a line or two that could be very helpful in that moment, could be very healing, could be very supportive. That comes through a lot. Another thing they want to touch on is your clairs. All your clairs are being activated and clear, all your senses. So that means that you could just get a feeling, a knowing, a seeing. Your dreams could be very vivid. You could feel a real understanding. But if you just have a knowing of something, they could have very often given you that wisdom. I know it sounds really weird. You know, some people think it's like clear, booming voice. You know, sometimes I do when I was a kid, I did a lot of auto writing. That's how I get a lot of my spirit messages. I get it directly. Like, it feels like it's coming in the back of my head. I don't necessarily think it just comes in. So always think of yourself as a receiver. So with all your clear abilities, you can get a clear knowing, a clear seeing, a clear feeling. In your dreams, a thought you didn't think, hearing something you didn't think. You know, it's that way. You're just receiving. So very often, when you really think of a connecting, you think of a phone call. You know, you're on the receiver. So it's just coming in, you're receiving it. So I always say, the overall thing is best to always be as clear and open as you can be. And that's a tall order, because we clog up our minds with things, we clog up our hearts with things, we're inundated with things to do in our life. It almost feels like a traffic jam on a highway, right? You want to clear that out. You want to be as open and clear as you can be. So whatever that does to support you, if it's being out in nature, if it's breathing, if it's showering, if it's exercising, letting go of the day, you know, literally clearing yourself out and being open and clear as you can be. So whatever works for you, and it will be personal, because they'll guide you to things that naturally get you clear and open. Okay. And then another thing is to be as clear as open as you can be and live that way. So when living that way, I mean, in your day to day, you keep one eye open, you keep one ear open, you keep your heart open, you keep your mind open. So even if you're determined, say, to get to A to B, if you get an inkling or a feeling or a knowing or a sensing, you should alter that in some way, or make a left or a right, or do something different, or you get an idea. You know, you're a receiver, so be open. Don't discount it. It's always, I always say, walking in life with one eye open, one ear open, your mind open, your heart open to receive. And don't discount what you get, because I promise you, you have gotten hundreds of thousands of spirit messages, signs, symbols, messages, dreams, knowing, feeling, sensing. Some people just call it intuition. Some people, you know, we have different words for it. Just don't discount it. It's like your own compass, and they're definitely working with you 24/7. A lot of the times we just don't give them credit. A lot of the times you can get a direct feeling, knowing, spirit message, what I always talk to. Some of you are getting it like I do, like if you get a real spirit message, or you're auto writing, or you have clear seeing, clear knowing, clear feeling. Like lots of people like to put labels on it. I prefer not to. Just be as clear and open as you can possibly be. A complete open receiver. Don't censor yourself even with a label. You know, when I first started, when I was a child, you know, you start off with baby steps. So you feel like you're very sensitive, you're empathic, or maybe you're psychic, maybe you're clear cognizant, clear audient. You can do that, but I assure you, we have all those senses, each one of us. The kindest thing that someone ever told me, and I'm going to share this is a special message, I might as well put it all in there. The kindest, most empowering thing on my own quest over decades, going to every spiritual mentor you could think of, every psychic, every medium, every spiritual book, class, lecturer. I read everything I could get on my hands on, you know, to get greater understanding for myself of what was going on. Learning from other people, all of this stuff. But it is gathering your own evidence. I want to say, number one, like, you don't have to believe me, like anything that I'm saying. I actually say, don't believe me, and then go through your life gathering your own evidence. And the second, the kindest thing that someone ever said to me, because most people want to get you on the hook for something, like buy my book, take my class, follow me, listen to me, blah, blah, blah. I say, don't listen to me, don't believe me, gather your own evidence. And the second most important, powerful, kindest, most important thing I could possibly share with you is, you don't need me. Like, you don't even need me to tell you this. Like, you're gonna find your own way, and you don't need me, you don't need the next person, you don't need the next person. Like, anyone in the spiritual realm that is selling you a deck, a book, a class, or whatever, the bottom line is, you don't even need them. You have your own divine connection. You have your own divine connection. And the kindest thing someone else said to me after something said, "You don't need me." And I thought about it all the way home after like 20 years of like listening and buying and doing all this stuff. "You don't need me." It was the most empowering, kindest thing she could say to me. And it was honoring my own divine connection. You know how people say namaste, but truly honor that you have your own divine connection. It will be shown. It's your own divine compass. You will have your own words. You'll have your own signs. You'll have your own experiences. So everybody else can provide confirmation or explanation mark, but make no doubt about it. You are on your own divine connection. You're already divinely connected. You're already getting brilliant ideas. You're already, the more you trust and gather your own evidence, they'll show up. Don't discount it. And I just wanted to say that. So, and I'm ending it with, you don't have to believe me. Gather your own evidence, and that's how you will believe. You will believe and you will receive. And the more you believe and receive, I'm so grateful, like say thank you every time you do receive. But the more you kind of give them credit, the more you get in a way, because you're not discounting it. So it's like, someone could tell you something 10 times, and if you're not really listening, you're not going to really get it, and you're not going to really give them credit. So it could be something as simple as you had a nudge to try something or do something, and it worked out. Like for example, I'll even give you, like the decks I created, I said it was created by Free Spirit. I give them the credit. Other people put their own name on something they create. Just like if you hear beautiful music, if you talk to a very talented, gifted people, even inventors, famous inventors, you read their bios, the nitty gritty, not just the summation of their life, but their own words. They say very often that they felt guided. They were given the solution. You feel lots of painters, they paint from visions. So it's a matter of just giving it credit. You trust, you believe, you go with the flow, you follow it, you trust it. The more you follow it, because sometimes we talk ourselves out of it, or it doesn't feel rational or that, but it's just it's going back to being open, right? Being open and clear and almost adventurous, a little adventurous, and gathering your own evidence. So if you want to look at it as an experiment, you want to look at it as, you're your own scientist and adventurer, and you're on your own spiritual quest, which you are, your own spiritual journey. I wanted to put this in because I get that a lot. How to connect with your spirit guides and loved ones passed on. And believe me, you're already connected. And that's what they really wanted to, I'm going to end it the way it began. You are, in fact, always connected. They're always there for you, even when you don't see it or feel it. So it's not about how to connect, but to know you are connected, and to know when you are connecting. And the way you'll feel that you are connecting is because it feels like love. It just feels like love. You will recognize it and will know it because it feels like love. It feels like love. Some people describe like a wave. They get chills. You just, you feel loved in the moment. If you receive signs, symbols, messages, you're just receiving love. And so if you just honor it, and say if you got a great idea that is the perfect solution to whatever, you could say, thank you for your love. Thank you for that wisdom. Thank you. Between you and who you're connecting with, who you feel you're connecting with at the moment. And you don't have to explain it to anybody else. I know I try to put into words a lot of the things, but a lot of these things, there are no words, there are no labels. They even said, you don't have to know the word gravity to know if you let go of something, it's going to fall to the ground. Even before they had evidence for it, it still was a fact. So there's nothing really to prove with this. You can but gather your own evidence, and it's just through your experience that you have the evidence. It's as simple as that. So I wanted to leave this for you, how to connect with your spirit guides and loved ones passed on, spirit messages, tips. You gather your own evidence, you will believe and receive. That's how you're going to believe, you will believe and receive. And this was just a special message. Like here, I wanted to leave this behind for you. You're already connected, and it's always love. It's always tremendous love, and it's always quite a little bit beyond you. Like it's almost like there's no way myself alone could have thought that, done that, figured that out, known that, it's that. So that's what I mean by it's gathering your own evidence. And there's nothing to prove. There, quote unquote, there's nothing to prove. Like anything I leave on my channel or anything I'm sharing with you, I'm not trying to prove anything. You don't have to believe it. It's more for you to prove it to yourself or experience it and gather your own spiritual evidence. That's what I always say, gather your own spiritual evidence. And that's it. And live your life as clear and open as possible, because you're getting assistance all the time. You're getting love and support all the time. Just be a receiver of it, a clear receiver of it, and that's it. And be grateful for it, honestly. So I wanted to leave this special message for you, how to connect with spirit guides and loved ones passed on. Take care. Bye-bye.